Hello, today I'm going to show you how you can reduce gaps in your corner-to-corner crochet. Got three methods here. The one on the left was made with the normal method, and I'm going to show you two techniques to reduce the gaps in between your little clusters. For the first method I'm going to show you, the trick is to start each little cluster with a chain 2 instead of a chain 3. So I'm about to start the second square of row 2, and to start the square I'm only going to chain 2 and then work my 3 double crochets into this chain space here. And if you're using UK terms, that's treble crochets for you. When you start a new square, when you're increasing your row, you're also only going to chain 2, but of course you still need the 3 chain stitches to work into. So you're going to make a total of 5, 2 for the turning chain and 3 for the foundation of your square. So 5 chains, and then work into the 3rd, 4th and 5th chain from your hook. And when you come to connect that square and anchor it, just use the top of that chain 2, anchor it in there, and there you go. Likewise, when you're decreasing, you will only do a chain 2 and then anchor that in the top of your chain. So 1, 2, 3, find the top of that chain 2, slip stitch that in, and then start the next square again with a chain 2 and work your 3 double crochets into the chain space. The second method I'm about to show you builds on the first method that you've just learned, but gives you an even tighter finish to your corner-to-corner crochet. I'm about to crochet the second square of row 3, and like with the first method, we're going to start by only chaining 2 to start each square, and then work the 3 double crochets. However, when we come to the 3rd double crochet, I'm only going to yarn over, pull through once, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and rather than completing the stitch right now before anchoring, I'm going to combine the step of anchoring this square to the next square and finishing my double crochet. So I'm going to insert my hook into that top chain stitch. So 1, 2, 3 double crochets. Here's my top chain stitch. Insert my hook in there, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on my hook, so that way I finished my double crochet and at the same time I've already anchored the square to the next one, which means I don't have an additional gap created by a chain stitch, which then gives you that even tighter finish. When you come to decrease with this method, it works the same way as with the first method that I've shown you. So you're just going to chain 2 and then anchor them to the top stitch of your chain before you then continue with another square where you work your double crochets into this chain space, and the 3rd one, just before you finish for that last pull through, you insert your hook into the top chain and pull through all 3 at the same time. One thing to note with both of these methods is that it will result in a smaller project overall than you get with the classic chain 3 method. You lose about 10% of your total width with this method if you're anchoring your stitches while doing your last double crochet. You can lose up to 15% of your total project width. So if you're crocheting a blanket that's supposed to be about 40 inches wide, With this method, the resulting blanket would only end up being 36 inches. With this one, it would only end up being about 34 inches wide. So just take that into account, and if you're doing a free-form blanket, you can just counteract that by adding a few extra squares to your project. If you're following a graphic pattern, then you have to account for the fact that your blanket is going to be smaller, so either you say you just don't care about it, or you can counteract by using thicker yarn, or you just add a border in the end, and then that way you still end up with a project that has smaller gaps but still has the same width and length that you were aiming for in the first place. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and see you again soon. Bye!